वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति
वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति
वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति
वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति
धीरमारुति अति धीरमारुति
धीरमारुति अति धीरमारुति
गीतमारुति संगीतमारुति
गीतमारुति संगीतमारुति
दूतमारुति रामदूतमारुति
दूतमारुति रामदूतमारुति
भक्तमारुति परमभक्तमारुति
भक्तमारुति परमभक्तमारुति
वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति
वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति
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 Can you explain the meaning of avidya that Shastra does about a bit in detail? That Shastra, you mean, no? Shastra does.
Swamiji, my question was that can you explain avidya a little like you explained bondage in the first
Yeah,
class?
yeah. That you said that Shastra talks about, no?
Yeah,
That
what you
Shastra
told
talks
us.
about. But a bit in detail, yeah. Like to explain the meaning of bondage. Yes. Avidya word, one explanation I gave. Vastutah na vidyate iti avidya. That which really does not exist, but considered to be existing to explain our experience of bondage. Because avidya explains why ever free Atma appears to be, seems to be bound. If I am ever free, then why should I feel bound? For that particular discrepancy between the vision of the Shastra that you are ever free and my experience that I am bound, avidya is introduced. Really, it is not that. Like what we said about Maya, same thing we talk about avidya. So avidya, which is really not there, but introduced to explain the bondage, the experience of bondage by a person who is really Atma. And this, the word avidya is also explained in a different manner. Vidya nivartya avidya means that which is removed by vidya, vidya virodhi or vidya nivartya avidya. In Shastra is grammar. Avidya. When a word is used, many places it indicates the opposite. Dharma, adharma, sura, asura. So similarly, vidya opposite avidya. So that which is opposed by vidya is called avidya. So that which is removed by vidya is called avidya. So that which is really not there, but seems to be there because I have an experience of bondage, and that which is removed by vidya is called avidya. So avidya is a factor which is responsible for veiling my true nature and creating the appearance of bondage for me. So avidya has got two power. One is called avarana shakti, other is called vikshepa shakti. Since you want to know in detail, so थोड़ा detail में बता देना. और भी questions है लेकिन जितना just so avarana shakti and vikshepa shakti. Avarana shakti means the power of veiling. And power of veiling means it veils my nature. And that power of veiling is avarana shakti, one aspect of avidya. Other is, it is projecting the bondage, various notion about myself. That is called vikshepa shakti. That is the effect of vikshepa shakti. Projects the body and also projects the identification with the body. That is the effect of vikshepa shakti. So avidya has got two power, avarana shakti, vikshepa shakti. And just one more point I will tell you. This is enough written or more चाहिए?
I catch you.
मान गए कि और बोल दूँ? Okay, little bit I will tell you. One important point regarding that is avidya is generally translated by the word ignorance. In English, avidya is translated by the word ignorance. And ignorance is generally understood as what? No knowledge. Isn't it? Ignorance means no knowledge. It is understood to be absence of knowledge. When you say, I have got ignorance of that place, Narayana Ashram, means I have no knowledge of that place. So generally, avidya is understood as translated as ignorance, and ignorance is generally understood to be absence of knowledge. Therefore, many people think that avidya is abhava rupa, means it is in the form of absence of knowledge, which is not a correct understanding. Avidya is not absence of knowledge. It is a particular factor which has got veiling power. Absence cannot veil anything. Absence cannot project anything. Therefore, it is not abhava rupa. Ignorance, avidya, ignorance may be abhava rupa, but avidya is not abhava rupa. So, ignorance, if it is understood in the sense of absence of knowledge, ignorance is not a good translation for avidya. Is it clear?
This was my question actually. Is it bhava rupa or abhava?
It is yat kinchit bhava rupa. Really speaking, bhava bhavabhyam kanirvachaniya. Means, it cannot be categorized as existent, nor it can be categorized as non-existent. But since the idea of non-existent is there, therefore we say bhava rupa. And then we add the word yat kinchit bhava rupa. Yat kinchit means somewhat. Thoda sa. Means it really does not have existence like Brahman. But it cannot be dismissed like rabbit's horn. It's not abhava rupa. It is yat kinchit bhava rupa. That is our siddhanta.
Relatively, it's real. Relative reality.
Yes, as long as you are experiencing samsara, avidya is. When avidya goes away and your vision is only on Brahman or Atma, there is no avidya. In Atma, there is no avidya. But avidya is accepted as long as you are experiencing samsara. Like, the darkness, is not there in the sun. But when you are not looking at the sun and you are on the other side of the sunlight, then there is a darkness. But in Surya, in the sun, there is no darkness. But based on the presence and absence of sun alone, we do vyavahara of darkness, night and day. Day and night are because of the sun. But in the sun, there is no Day, no night. Night is not there, and therefore day also cannot be called to be there. You clear? Chalo. Now this interesting question. Lord Shiva himself is Brahman or Ishvara. He is depicted to in meditative posture. Whom do Lord Shiva और लॉर्ड नारायण प्रे टू शक्ति अपने वाइफ को प्रे करता है कई हस्बैंड होते हैं भी थोड़ा दे दो so he or she whatever so asking whom does the Lord Shiva or Narayana pray to? They don't pray to see these pictures we have created. It is not that somebody went to heaven and took the picture and brought here. Shiva was meditating, this fellow took the picture and put it on Facebook. They are not like that. See, idea is that the Shiva and all, they are abiding in their true nature. That is we are depicting by this, is a way of presenting. It is not that they have to meditate on something. So, it is a figurative expression that they, Ishvara does not have ignorance. Ishvara always remains in true nature. If Ishvara has got ignorance, where will he go? Because there is no Guru. After him only Guru comes. So he will remain ignorant forever. So Ishvara does not have ignorance. He abides in this true nature. How to convey this? This conveyed in this manner. He is if at all, is meditating on himself. And you can meditate on something which you know. Isn't it? What you know all alone, you can meditate. That is our strong argument. That's so they are meditating on what they already know. So it is a way of saying that they abide in their true nature. Yesterday you mentioned as an answer to a question that one can pray to God for the well-being of children, near and dear ones. Is it necessary or should we ask God for showering for something in prayers? Is it necessary to ask for something in prayers? See, if you can remain without asking, it is good. Nothing wrong. If you can simply pray, oh God, thank you very much. Just, hello, Ishvara, thank you for everything you have done. That also is a good prayer. See, Ishvara also will like it. So all the people are coming and asking. You are the fresh one. So Ishvara will say, you come every day. Come more often. I like people like you. So if you can do it, it's good. I many times I go. I go to Dakshinamurti temple. How are you, Bhagavan? Askal puja thing hua. There is my own dialogue with Bhagavan. I have a friendship. So you can do that. That also is a very good way. Bhagavan also will like for a change. Because it's a good change for it, no? So everybody will be list. You can simply pray. Prayer as an expression of your gratitude. You can do it. Or can we offer prayers without asking any favors, demands, etc.? He knows our mind and he knows our desires. See, that is the hidden agenda. Bhagavan, I am not asking, but you understand. मैं मानता नहीं पर आप समझ जाओगे ना that should not be that वो थोड़ा भगवान बोले यार मेरे को I made you and you are making मेरे बनाने वाले मुझको बनाते क्या so that we don't do. So if it is there in your mind and you don't ask, that also is okay. But if somebody asks, nothing wrong. In fact, we say that if you have some desire, you express this desire. And you pray specifically for that. Nothing wrong. And Bhagavan will fulfill. And along with this prayer, one important point I wanted to tell you here. Generally, our thinking is prayer means you just tell Bhagavan, Bhagavan, you give me. And that you consider prayer. That is not really full-fledged prayer. Full-fledged prayer is you say, "Oh Lord, give me this," and you chant some mantra, do some parayanam, do some puja, then it is called full-fledged prayer. Like you register, but if you don't pay donation, register not confirmed. So I like that here. So here also, along with that, you should do some japa or something karma. Simply saying that, "Oh, you give me," that also may have very marginal effect. It will, Bhagwan will give you, based on what your past punya. पहले की क्रेडिट में से थोड़ा डेबिट करके दे देते. So he will give you that from the previous credit. But if you really want, along with prayer for you or for somebody, when you say, "I pray for you," at least you say, "I pray for your good health." After at least 2-3 Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, at least that much you should do. Then it is a full-fledged prayer. Nowadays people, this is from, we have derived from, I think, other culture. "I pray for you." People say very easily, "I pray for you." And afterwards, nothing, just pray for you, that's all. That is not really prayer. In our tradition, prayer means a karma. Kaika, vachika, manasa, karma. So your application should be along with the necessary registration fees. So similarly, karma. People think that the prayer means we are bribing Bhagwan, we are buttering Bhagwan. No, it is a karma. This particular japa you do, it creates this positive, invisible result, which will fructify in the desired result. It's a pure law of karma. It is, people think that prayer is something outside the law of karma. It is not. Prayer is a part of karma, part of law of karma. We think is outside constitution of Bhagwan. We are outside, like Bhagwan, we are bribing. Bhagwan generally does regular duties, but we pray, so he will favor us. It is not like that. If you understood prayer well, then you after praying for something, you do some karma. Alright. So if you ask, nothing wrong. If somebody tells when you go to Bhagwan, you should not ask for anything. Go to Bhagwan, when you go, such a small thing you are asking. Which is Swami used to say very nicely. He says, whatever big thing you ask, that is small only for Bhagwan. People say, "Oh, such a small thing you are asking to Bhagwan." You can ask, nothing wrong. So my chappal is lost. If Bhagwan got it back, there is nothing wrong. Right? Nothing wrong. If somebody says that, "No, don't pay for such a small thing," you get me chappal, so I will not pay. जवाब यही देना है. Next time आपको advice नहीं करेगा. We have some methods to stop people giving us advice. All right. So this is about prayers. So you can offer, and even if you keep in your mind and don't tell Bhagwan, and if your karmas are done properly, and if you have prayed or not prayed, Bhagwan will definitely bless you. Okay, about this path, I will talk about it. Will the recording of the course be available on YouTube? Yes, it will be available. When we are going to give the link? 11th.
After 11th.
After 11th lunchtime, I think course is getting over. No?
When it gets completed, we'll take maybe one day and do that.
So they will give you the link, but it may 11th weekend, because 11 people will be going.
Yes, we'll give the channel name right now also. We can give.
Yeah, but it will be available only after 12th. Yes. Yeah, it will be available. Anytime you can go and visit. There are so many other things also available. So you can hear. So it's available. This morning you spoke of Avyakta. And this is the state during Pralaya. This implication was manifest during creation and Avyakta during Pralaya. However, my understanding was that during creation, both Vyakta and Avyakta is present and there is exchange between the two. See, it's true that even during this Sthiti Avastha also, Vyakta Avyakta is there. See, right now, there is a wheat flour in the kitchen. In that, roti is what? Avyakta. And it will become Vyakta tomorrow, around 11 o'clock. I don't know when they make it, whatever time. And then you eat it. Then it will be coming out as a waste material. And again it will be going to the ground. And in that this flour is there, everything is there, it will become Vyakta. So even now that cycle is there. But we are talking about the whole world in general. In this world itself, so many Vyakta is there. But the entire universe which we are talking about, then we say this Vyakta Avastha is during the Srishti and Sthiti of the entire world, and entire world is dissolved during the Pralaya. That's what we mean. Otherwise, you are right. In this creation also, Vyakta, Avyakta, both are there, keeps happening. Alright. Our classes are a travel towards self-realization, flying in an aeroplane. Wow. Premium मिल जाता है airplane. Should not all the passengers keep their all phones in aeroplane mode? I tell you one thing, even in flight many people don't put. I myself forgot at last time. So, okay, at least during the class. If they put it, it's nice. I also hear the sound. But if they don't put, what can we do? Sometimes they may be forgetting. I give benefit of doubt. But if you remember, it'd be nice, It is called consideration for others. I may not be so much in something. For me, phone is very important. For me, phone is more important than the class. That is okay. I don't mind that. I cannot decide your priority. You decide your priority. It is your life. But it will be a matter of consideration for others. You care for others. That see, I may not have so much value for concentration, focusing, but by my not keeping this phone on aeroplane mode or silent mode, I am disturbing others. And it is himsa. We disturb others himsa. So let us have vyavahara shuddhi. Means let there be purity in our vyavahara. This is purity, consideration of others, sensitivity. We are mindful that others should not be disturbed. So when we walk also we be careful. See, when I am coming, I try to be as careful as possible. ऐसा नहीं कि थोड़ा बुलडोजर की तरह भागो. ऐसा नहीं, slowly you should be mindful. So whatever we do in a mindful manner. This value of not disturbing others in any manner. And so if we can put our phone on silent mode, aeroplane mode, it will be a following the value of ahimsa, non-violence. So I request all of you to follow. Nice thing is you don't bring phone. You keep it there wherever it is. I hope it place is safe. So phone can remain. Let it have some rest. All the time with you. So let it have some rest also. But still, if you need, bring it and remember to put it on aeroplane mode if possible. Please explain what is referred to as causal body. We are going to talk about it tomorrow, causal body. Causal body is the body which is responsible for gross body and subtle body. Causal, karana means it is causal. The body which is of the nature of being a cause is called causal body. And it is consisting of avidya and having the sanchita karma, punya papa. More details I am going to give. As you mentioned, avyakta and avyakta karya. Avyakta and karya. But sometimes it is avidya is mentioned. Yes, this avyakta can be at individual level, it can be called this avyakta karya or avyakta karana we say generally. So avidya or karana sharira can also be called avidya. Karana sharira can be called avidya. Avidya can be called avyakta. All these are having the same connotation. More about this we will talk tomorrow. And avidya and maya sometimes they are used synonymously. But sometimes some division is made. At the individual level, that veiling factor and projecting factor, avarana shakti is called veiling power. Vikshepa shakti is projecting power. The veiling power and projecting power at the individual level is called avidya, and at the total level it is called maya. But sometimes they are used synonymously. And that when it is used, avidya word is used in the context of individual, that avidya can be called karma sharira as well. Thanks to God, I have started the journey of Vedanta to understand Brahma Jnana. This Vedanta Jnanam is very important for everyone in this Mother Earth. Always I am getting the desire that everyone or most of us should start the journey of Vedanta knowledge. My question is, that is this desire also bondage? How to stop this bondage? First of all, you have this desire with bondage. See, to wish that let everybody study Vedanta, if it is an innocent wish, it is not a bondage. But there is some obsession. Your neighbor, you ask him to come to Vedanta class, he said no time. And evening he is going for a movie, so you feel very bad about it. See, when I asked for Vedanta class, he said no time and he is going for a movie. Then you feel disturbed. If your desire that everybody should study Vedanta is leading to disturbance, then it is a bondage. If it remains in the form of prayer or simple wish, let everybody study. So that's a good thing, it's a good wish. It shows your good-heartedness. That is not a bondage. But if desire is leading to disturbance, obsession, insistence, your own son or daughter doesn't study. You tell you study Vedanta, come, listen to this. They don't do it, and you feel disturbed. Then your desire has taken the form of bondage. So desire itself, when it is not creating any depression, frustration, disappointment, then it is okay. It is called non-binding desire. Non-binding desire means a desire, if it is fulfilled, fine. Not fulfilled, fine. Then that desire is called non-binding desire. Like satsang. Satsang is what? Satsang is there, we'll attend. Not there, we'll sleep. So, the desire for satsang will be what? Non-binding desire. So like that you can have it. Okay. Why youngsters are not pursuing Vedanta journey in Bharat? He's youngster. So when I went, I was young. So not a star, but young was that. I was 17 years old when I met Swami and I started attending Vedanta class, 17 years old. So it is not that, but maybe little less. Yes, we can say Kali Yuga Prabhava. And don't think that only youngsters are not attending. Elderly people also not attending. If you imagine how many you people, those who are elderly people, how many people are elderly people? Very nice. I appreciate this. Many people will not say. That's why you know that you must have heard this. The two ladies were fighting for a seat. And one man came, he said, so whoever is elder, can get seat and younger can stand. Both of them are standing. And then he wants to prove to me. Okay. But better, आप बैठ जाओ. Both of them started saying, आप बैठ जाओ. Okay. So, elders also not all attend. I have seen that very few, you make very, very small minority. So it is because the material attraction is so much. The olden days, what? See, people used to go evening. Our evening, what is called pastime was what? Going to the temple, listening to Mahabharata Katha, Ramayana, or something like that only. TV was not there. The radio also was not there in every house. In our house, radio came when I was in 9th or 10th standard or something, 8th or 9th or something. So that also was not there. So what? We used to go to the temple, walking only, or Nataraja service. The walking is called Nataraja service. Nice name, you know. So I went by Nataraja service. So we used to go that because no other entertainment. Nowadays, what? TV serials, Saas Bhi Kabhi Bhukti, or so many serials. Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. So many are there. So there is no time for that. And the grandchildren have come and all this. One person was telling Swamiji, Vedanta class is there, but my grandchildren have come, so I have to spend time with them. So we have so many things. Don't worry about it. You attend the class. One who has written, I tell that person that sometimes what happens that we become so obsessed with what others should do, we forget that same thing we are not doing. We tell others, but we don't do it. Many yoga teacher, no? Yoga, those who are yoga, what is called? Yoga supporter. They are so busy spreading the message of yoga, this conference to that conference to that conference to that workshop and all, they themselves don't do yoga. They are busy telling others, you do yoga, and they will have big belly. Let charity begin at home. Start telling. Start doing what you want others to do. That's what Gandhi said. Be the change you want to see in the world. Generally, we said everybody should do that. You do first. You are not doing. Many parents they will tell. He said, Namaskar, Namaskar Panuka, Namaskar Panuka. He himself is standing like a stick and telling the children, you do first. That's how. First, let us bring. I was telling today somebody. I said he was telling about the spreading and all. So I said, you yourself can become the advertising agent for Vedanta. How? By bringing a change in your life. When you bring a change in your life because of studying Vedanta, people will ask, what happened? How come you have changed so much? Then you can tell, like that advertisements, that my skin is bright and all this. Why? Because I'm using this soap. So like that we can say, I brought this change because of this Vedanta. Then you don't have to tell the person to come to Vedanta. That person will automatically come. Anybody who has got success story, then people will ask, and the people would like to follow. He doesn't have to tell you follow my practices. That's Warren Buffett does this. So people will start to doing that. Warren Buffett doesn't have to tell you do this, you do this. Warren Buffett clubs are there. You start following. That's how it is. So you bring the change. You become the change first. You don't have to bother about it. And one thing is that Vedanta will not be popular like other things. Vedanta requires a lot of preparation. Vedanta requires some subtlety of the mind. And that will never be popular. It is not designed to be popular. Like a diamond jewelry store, in that you don't expect crowd. That crowd which you have in vegetable market will not be there. You don't expect that. Unless there is some Deepavali sale or something. There also I was thinking secondly there. Okay, so I think this to all questions answered. Okay. So yesterday's all questions are answered. So now somebody had asked me yesterday this. Can you please share how you started on this path? Also how Puja Swamiji came into my life. Since childhood or boyhood, whatever you call it, I was interested in religious activities. I used to go to the temple with mother, evening also going. And then my father used to go to an institute called Brahma Kumari. Have you heard this Brahma Kumari? Yes. And very first, initially I might have started because every Thursday they used to give good prasadam. So I might have started like this. But even those days with not prasadam, I used to go, I remember. I used to go with my father. And then afterwards I was very fond of reading. And used to have some questions, but not very serious pursuit. But maybe when I was 15 or 16, that time I again started going to this Brahma Kumari on my own. I attended one workshop. There only I told no that they had asked me to fill up the form, and during that workshop they had told me that you are Atma. So I wrote my name about Atma. And address, they say you are coming from Shiva Loka. So I wrote Shiva Loka. I was very mischievous also. You can make out, no? So, and I used to have a lot of discussion with them. Even they 1 hour class, but after that I used to sit post class session I used to have. One day at least they were telling whatever my name was, Devadatta, they said, Devadatta, now time is up. So then only I got up. Still then I was asking them questions. I had so many questions. And they also like, because this young age, somebody is so much interested. But one thing I had difficulty with them, that they said, Paramatma is not all pervasive. Because if Paramatma is all pervasive, means Paramatma is, everybody is Paramatma, or Paramatma is pervading all, then why one person will murder other person? It's a genuine question. No? I said, yeah, that's true. But somehow, maybe my past samskaras, I was feeling Paramatma must be all pervasive. That's again a guts feeling. So I had that thinking that it must be all pervasive. Because this is how we used to hear and we read and all this, Paramatma is all pervasive. Kan kan mein Bhagavan, kan mein Ram, that is given. So it is there in the air in India. So we used to have this samskara, and these people are saying that Paramatma cannot be all pervasive. Paramatma is only Bindu Swarupa, he is here only. Only Paramatma is sitting here, not whole body. He said Paramatma is here only. And not Atma, you are Atma and Atma is sitting here. Shiva Baba is Paramatma. He is not all pervasive. Then somehow I was feeling it must not be so, but the logic I did not have answer, and I had very much commitment to rationality. That they are asking there for that particular argument, I don't have answer. That Paramatma, if is everybody is pervaded by Paramatma, then how one person will kill Paramatma and one person will kill other person? It amounts to say Paramatma is killing Paramatma. How is it possible? I said, yeah, that's true. So I could not give them answer. Even I tried, to bring Bhagavad Gita from library. And from reading that, I think I will argue like a lawyer. No? I wanted to. Fortunately or unfortunately, I got the book of Bhagavad Gita which I could not understand. So, mera fail ho gaya wo. Then, still I was having, and one day in our school, there high school, I was I think in 11th, and one notice board they said that one Swamiji is coming and he will give a talk in this particular place. So I said yes, I was interested. So I went there, and one Swamiji from Ramakrishna Mission, he gave a talk, and at the end, one some brahmachari, wearing yellow, he gave lot of thanks. And after the program was over, he was standing. The one brahmachari who gave lot of thanks, he was standing. And I am like reaching out. So I asked him, I said, are you from Ramakrishna Mission? In Gujarati, I asked. He said, no, I am from Chinmay Mission. So I said, any connection with China? Because in Gujarati, I was very bold. So I said, any connection with China? Chin, because in Gujarati, Chin means China. तो मैंने सोचा ये चीन से आए होंगे अपना लॉजिक so Swamiji said no Chinmay. Then he Chinmay. So he explained me something. I said okay. Then I asked him, you are going this side? He said yeah, he is going that side, and that side only my house was there. So we started walking. He also was walking. Both of us were no vehicle. So both of us started walking. And I remember even now, it was I think 13th January, Saturday, 1979. I remember it just really meant a lot to me. So when I was walking and I remember in the bridge, I asked him, what is your belief about God being all pervasive? That's my question. Vedantic question. All other things we discussed, but this is my first Vedantic question. He said, I don't have belief that Paramatma is all pervasive. I know Paramatma is all pervasive. I like this confidence. For that also I little bit argued. It's not that easily I accepted, but first I said, first you have to believe, then only you can know. I said, okay. He also did not go into that, and he explained to me how Paramatma is all pervasive on the first day of the meeting. Then instead of going to my house, I went to his place where he was staying. Because discussion went on and on. Then he explained to me that how creation will have a material cause, efficient cause. What we studied on, I studied on the first day itself. And I was very impressed. Wow, I got an answer. That what I was thinking is true. That Paramatma is all pervasive and this is how he is all pervasive. I was very much impressed by that. So I and my friend, both of us were there. So we went back home and next day he had a class, so I came for that. Other person, I took time. He did not come, I continued. So I was attending his class, and that Swami is Brahmatmananji. He is a disciple of Swami Dayananji. And I used to go, and he is very loving Swami, very, very loving. And so I had very good relationship, friendship. And he was there for a few days. I studied Ishavasya and all. Little bit I studied. And then he was transferred in Chinmay Mission, that was transferred from one place to other. So he went. But then I used to go every now and then to his place where he was in Baroda, so I went there. I was in different place, went to Baroda. And afterwards also, I was in touch with him, and when I had to decide whether I should go for commerce or engineering, he said, no, you do engineering, it will be useful. I said, I want to study Vedanta. So whatever easy I should study so that I work, I earn, give some money to house and cut out. That was my thinking. And so at very early age, at the age of 18 itself, I said I will become a sannyasi. So afterwards I studied, I went to a college and studied in the hostel. And in the hostel also I was conducting Vedanta classes. Whatever I studied, I think I am a born teacher. So teaching comes very easily to me. So whatever little bit I studied before going to ashram also, I started teaching. And I taught this Tattva Bodha, Vajagovindam and all small text. And afterwards I worked, I studied, completed my study and then worked for some time. Then Swamiji started the ashram in Baroda. So I attended that course. It was in Gujarati, so we studied for 3 years. This Bhagavad Gita, Bhashyam, Upanishad, Bhashyam, and all this. So only 5-6 people. So we completed the study, and then I wanted to study further. And that time we wrote to Puja Swamiji, and that I said I will go to Kailash ashram. Swamiji said, no, you stay in this ashram. So that's why in 89 I came here. And I studied with one Swamiji. Now his name is Vishardananji. And of course, Puja Swamiji used to come for 1 or 2 months. He used to bring the students from Coimbatore for 2 months. He used to be here. So I studied 6th chapter of Chandogya with him and Vedic Chudamani and like that. And 12th chapter and all, whenever he used to come, I studied with him. And before that, in 82 itself, I had met Swamiji. Before joining the ashram itself, I had met here only with the Swamiji. At that time itself, I studied some Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad or something. So I was very blessed with the association with so many Mahatmas. So here I was there up to 93 December. Then I went to Anaikatti to attend some last part of the course there, where Swamiji was taking Brahma Sutra. So I went there, and before that I was studying Brahma Sutra here. Brahma Sutra and Kansudashi and so many things I studied during 3-4 years with Vishardananji, mainly Vishardananji. Then I went there, and after 2-3 days after my going there, Swamiji called me and he said, "You go to Bangalore." I had not seen where Bangalore is, he said. But he said, I said, "Swamiji, my English is not that good." No, you spoke other day very well. And I said, "But Swamiji, you said that I should do Nidhi Dhyasanam." He said, "What else will you do there? Go there and do it." And that's how I went there. I was there for 20 years. And then in 2014, I went to, 2013, I went to Puja Swamiji to tell him that now I can take a break from teaching and all. I have done 20 years. Then Swamiji said, "You are teaching." I was teaching here also in Kailash Ashram every year. So Swamiji said, "Why don't you teach in the ashram here itself?" So he asked me to do the course. And therefore, 2014, I went there and I have been teaching there. And we conducted the course. One course we did in 14 to 17, then afterwards one more course we did 19 to 22. And that is how I am here. And I have a lot of grace of so many teachers. Whenever I used to have some time, I used to go to Uttarkashi. There is one ashram there over there. Now it is washed away. Nice place over there, beyond Uttarkashi. So that was a very good place. So these are my, what is called, place of growing. The Rishikesh, Uttarkashi, Bangalore, Coimbatore. And I feel very blessed because of the grace of so many acharyas. That is how I am here in front of